Howdy everyone. This is Konstantin. I'm streaming live from south of Russia, explaining the latest things that are happening in my country. South of Russia. Welcome and thank you for joining me today. Fantastic day in the south of Russia, very hot. Well, it was today. And the peak of summer. Very nice weather. And I'm going to deliver a very important message to you today. Just not a message. I actually am going to deliver some information. I think it is important. I have not heard of anyone speak of these things before. I'm trying to look under the surface of my country, what is going on, and I'm trying to figure out what will happen in the future. So I'll be talking about things that I'm seeing with my own eyes today and things that have touched me already as a regular Russian guy living between Moscow and the south of Russia. My message today is about the great downgrade of Russia. The Russian, and by Russia, I mean the life of regular Russian people. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. Over the years, Russia has come a long way from being a communist country with no market economy, with very little economy whatsoever, to a fairly developed country where living standard actually wasn't too bad, you know. It's actually quite high. Living in Russia, especially in the 2000s, was a very pleasurable experience. Russia has enjoyed many things that are cutting edge. Lots of things that were available in the developed countries, G7 countries, that were available in Russia. And some of them are still available. They have been available. And of course, we all know what happened on February 24th and what has followed after. We all know that there are some consequences of this. And we all know that Russia has started experiencing some changes. Most changes are quite obvious, okay? Well, if you come to Russia and look around, most likely you will see right off the bat that, for example, we've said it thousands of times, McDonald's is closed. A lot of Western stores have pulled out and closed in Russia. Russian airlines don't fly outside of Russia. These are changes that kind of jump right into your face. But recently, I started noticing little changes that don't affect my life that much, okay? But they're still there. And they're just first early birds, early tiny baby birds of something bigger, what is coming. I'm going to talk about these things. And some things, well, they're industries, because every early bird is about industry it represents. I would like to start with what we in Russia do every day, eat, with the food industry. It's not a secret that the prices in Russia have risen up. They're much higher than they were in February on February 24th. I'm actually planning on making a video about that. I understand why. We all understand why, okay? It is a fact. It is not a huge change, but what has followed is actually pretty significant. two things. First, the quality of food has dropped. And now, by very, very little, by so little that most Russians overlook. They don't notice, but I do. For example, very obvious. There's kind of different kind of butter in Russia. Butter, regular butter. Butter consists of cream, milk cream, right? With some degree of fats, with content of fats, milk fats. And good butter, universally around the world, is 82.5% of milk fats. I don't know, you call it cream or whatever. 82.5. Now, there are two kinds of butter in Russia for sale. First, 82.5, more expensive one. And the second, with fewer fats, with more artificial fillings. Or not artificial, but not milk fats. 72.5 milk fats, cheaper. If you taste it, it almost tastes the same, okay? But it has more not good stuff in it, so to speak. Now, they introduced 62.5. And it costs almost as much as 72.5 used to cost. And it still tastes like butter, but what's inside? Quality of stuff hasn't improved, okay? So most people don't notice, and most people would probably say, hey, it's cheaper, it tastes kind of the same, so I'll get it. But that's an early bird. I think that's a trend that is going to consume the food industry in Russia. And the second thing about the change I noticed is the shrinkflation. Again, butter used to be 200 grams at a certain price, let's say like 150 rubles. Now it's 180 grams at the price of 200 rubles. So the price has risen not by much, by 25%, sometimes 15%, but the amount has shrunk, okay? 10% minus weight of butter, 10% plus price of butter. You know, you do the math. And it's not just butter. It's other products as well. So number one is food industry. Number two, financial industry, banking. Russia has enjoyed one of the best banking systems in the world. Russian banks are among the most advanced. American banks, I know for sure, they don't even come closer. They don't compare. American banks, they do business the way they did in the 20th century. Russian banks, 21st century, they're working in the future. Because they're mostly brand new. They were born after the year 2000, okay? Their DNA is digital. Banking was so convenient. It's pretty unbelievable. I did a separate video on banking, okay? After the event, we started facing troubles. Bank apps, they stopped working. We cannot pay with FacePay anymore, with Google Pay, Samsung Pay, these systems. And I mean, it's obvious why. But also, the bank applications have stopped working. I used two different banks. I'm not going to tell you which ones, large ones. They both are under sanctions from the West, and their apps do not work. In order to do online banking, now I have to go on a desktop and, do things. I mean, I'm not going to die without this advanced banking apps, but it's something that certainly makes life not as pleasant. And there is a trend I see. The bank industry is hit hard by the sanctions, and banks are they're trying to survive. They're not trying to make huge profits. They're trying to cut losses, okay? And they're going to be cutting a lot on all on all features that do not support survival of the bank. Customer service, branches, and online infrastructure, mobile infrastructure. I'm pretty sure that the banks will be cutting on that. And this is a trend. There will be a big downgrade in financial services that financial institutions provide us. Number 3, airlines. That's a pretty obvious thing because most planes, I would say all planes in Russia, are either Boeing or Airbus. And they all belong to leasing companies that not Russian. And the leasing companies, they've decided to, take the planes back. And Russians are not giving them back, basically nationalizing them. Well, there are 2 problems here. First is pure convenience. We cannot fly to almost anywhere. Very few countries that accept Russian planes. In most countries, if a Russian airline sends a plane, a Boeing or Airbus, and the plane lands, it'll be automatically arrested, confiscated, and sent back to the leasing holder, leasing giver, the leaser, okay? We cannot fly. The only planes that fly in and out of Russia, foreign countries, are airlines that come from those countries. For example, Turkish Airlines. To fly anywhere, I have very limited option right now, like choice right now. I can use Turkish Airlines, fly to Istanbul, from Istanbul, anywhere. I can fly to Uzbekistan, Uzbek Airlines, Kazakhstan, Kazakh Airlines, Dubai, fly Dubai or something like that. And a few more countries, and that's it. So this very limited supply drives prices insane. Like a ticket to Istanbul used to cost 10,000-15,000 rubles. Now it costs 60,000-70,000 rubles. You do the math. That's pure convenience, okay? Again, we're not gonna die without direct flights to different countries, but what we might die of actually is safety, because there will be a big downgrade in the safety, because simply there are no service agreements any longer and there are no parts coming. So planes require maintenance, and it's very important. So we are all set for some time. I heard different periods. I heard the numbers of 6 months, 4 years, things. Anyway, there's a certain period. After that period, we need to service planes, and other planes will be taken apart. We call it cannibalization for the parts for the planes that actually fly. But you know what? This system is rotten, okay? It's obvious that the safety will be, quality of planes, safety of the planes will be greatly downgraded. So airlines, great downgrade in Russia. Logistics and supply chains. We used to import things directly from the manufacturers from all over the world. The United States, Canada, Europe, China, Asia, you name it. Now, lots of countries don't want to do business with Russia, and they can't because there are sanctions. Therefore, companies must invent go-around ways. That is not very convenient because it, first of all, makes transportation much more expensive, and second of all, the times that the periods, the number of days and weeks that takes shipping of certain things into Russia is greatly extended. And the third is there are companies out there who who are actually watching who's importing in Russia, going around the sanctions, okay? So their risks are much higher, it takes much longer time, and it's much more expensive. Pretty much for anything. That's a huge downgrade. I'm already seeing it with my own eyes. Consumer goods. I have faced a few situations recently. I wanted to buy an DJI Action 2, camera. It's a tiny little small camera for, when you just run around, do sports, swim, and things like that. And guess what? It was widely available before, but it's not available in Rostov. I can order delivery to Rostov from Moscow, from few companies from other cities, but it's going to take a few days, a week. Granted, I'm not going to die, okay? I might go and get it in Moscow faster. By the way, it's not in resale stores. You have to get it online because resale stores, big chains have sold out, okay? But that's a first early bird of what is to come. And things like that will be happening more and more in Russia, okay? There will be a deficit of consumer goods. Not so much of a deficit, but the wait times will be much longer, and the price, of course, is going to get up because of, obviously, inability to import directly. That's consumer goods, and how we buy them. This whole system industry will be downgraded greatly, and the downgrade has started already. Number 6, security. Lots of Russian IT specialists have left the country. I mean, that's not a secret. And there are a lot of vacancies right now for security of online systems, software, online like websites, online stores, and things like that. Online systems for banks. Fewer professionals on market available to work means higher salaries, cost cutting from the institutions who hire employees, and therefore cost cutting in terms of cutting corners in security. Okay, and that's stealing passwords from online stores. That's leaking information from banks, because it'll be less difficult to penetrate the the security systems and so forth. That's actually a big deal. To me, it's one of the most important things that is going to be downgraded. Security, digital security. It's pretty bad. Definitely great downgrade. Number 7. General deficit of quality things. Quality things cost money. And Russian economy is not living through its best times right now. Russian ruble is incredibly strong. I've made a video on that. It's going to be released in a couple of days. And that's terrible for the economy that imports goods. No, it's terrible that exports goods, but really good for the ones that imports goods. Somehow, because the ruble is artificially strong, somehow we do not experience the effect of a strong ruble when we buy things from the West, from China, and so forth. So good things cost money, and the markets, the Russians have less and less money, therefore they have less ability to buy quality things. I've noticed today, I went to a store, a large food store called OK. Very ingenious name, OK. It's a huge chain, food superstore, and they sell different things. Like very basic apparel, flip-flop for kids and everything, Just 6 months ago, they had better quality stuff. Now, they have much cheaper products and much cheaper apparel. It feels cheap. It's not of a good quality. You buy it. It's very clear that if you buy it and you pay like 3 cents for it, it's gonna either rip or break or It's not gonna feel good when you wear it. And when you go buy food, more expensive food is being replaced with much less expensive. Like I said about the food industry, with food that is of lower quality. So therefore, we're going to have a downgrade in availability of quality foods. And it's, of course, now you still can buy everything you want to, but the beginning of this process, we're seeing it right now. Just very early birds. Number 8, cars. In Russia, we have enjoyed good cars for years and years and years. German cars are the best. Japanese are very good. American are good. And recently, South Korean cars have become good. Okay, Chinese, not so good, but we still have plenty of them. Of course, we have Russian car manufacturers that are not good, but they're still there. Here in this country. Guess what? Most countries have declared sanctions upon Russia, therefore, car manufacturers do not sell cars to Russians any longer. You name it, just about every brand has pulled out except for South Korean cars. But guess what happened to South Korean cars? They have doubled, at least doubled in price. It used to be a Kia Optima or something. Now it costs just like a Mercedes E-Class that used to cost, 6 months ago. I don't want Kia Optima for a price of Mercedes E-Class or BMW Series 5. Just to give you an example, Lexus RX 300 5 months ago, brand new, 4 million rubles, 4.5, I think. Now, brand new, 11. BMW Series 5, the most souped up car, 5 million. Right now, that's before the February 24th. Now, 11.5 million. Okay, same goes for Mercedes. Same goes pretty much for everything else. South Korean cars, again, doubled in price, and that's pretty much the only decent cars we have on sale, supplied. Okay, you still can buy Mercedes at this outrageous price, and then Lexus or other cars, but they're not supplied directly. They're stock leftovers. Okay, South Koreans keep supplying cars, selling cars to Russia, and they will keep on doing that. That's their policy. And of course, there are Chinese cars. Oh, Chinese are happy. Chinese are happy because Chinese cars are cheaper than South Korean, and Russians kind of don't have a choice. Now the choice is between the Russian-made, and the Russian cars have stalled in production because lacking of electronics, semiconductor, most produced in Taiwan. Good luck with getting those from Taiwan, So Russian manufacturers have been on pause. Chinese are happy to come in. But you know what? I don't want to drive a Chinese car. I might be forced in the future because there will be nothing else. So that's a downgrade coming, and we're seeing this downgrade. It's something that has already influenced our lives. And the last but not least is, actually very important, is pharma, big pharma, pharmaceuticals, drugs. A couple examples. A family member, has problems with thyroids, and she takes hormones. Tiny little pills, not very expensive ones, cheap, and they work miracles, okay? I know many women and men take them, many, throughout the world, okay? After the 24th of February, about mid-March, she went to a pharmacy and she wanted to refill her prescription. The pharmacist said, "I'm sorry, we don't have those anymore because they're foreign made." Bummer. So after a while, they appeared, but not the real stuff, not the stuff made by Bayer or Pfizer, but the stuff made by Indian companies, the generics. And they appeared fairly fast, in a few weeks. But generics don't work the same. Generics are cheaper. Now they cost the same as the real ones because, there's no supply demand rule in place. So they're cost as much, but they work less. They work worse. And that directly influences person's life. Another example, a good friend of mine he's a doctor, medical doctor, is a high class dentist. Okay. In Russia, there are two types of dentists. You can go to a dentist school or you can go to medical university. So he's graduated with a medical university degree and he's dentist. He does very complicated surgeries on teeth and things like that. He owns a small dental clinic. Recently talked to them, and he doesn't know what to do because big companies, Western companies, they've pulled out many of the drugs that are not essential to keeping life of a person, but used in the Russian market. And for example, the very example right on the surface is anesthetics. I think it's the right word. Anesthetics, painkillers. That those things when they make an injection underneath your tooth, if they try to perform something on it, and it's not clear who actually pulled out, whether it's the Western companies stopped selling or it's our authorities decided that they're going to kick all the Western manufacturers of Russian market because there are Russian companies that they make the painkillers like that. But guess what? Novocaine, I think it's a name, or other ones. Guess what? The Russians work halfway. They don't numb teeth completely, and patients complain. It's become real hard to perform surgeries. You still can get good stuff, the Western stuff, but it costs an arm and a leg because it's such a sought after commodity and it's a very short supply. Or you can double down on Russian stuff, but it's not good for patient health. Okay? And this is a dilemma. This is a downgrade, huge downgrade in the life of people, regular people. But that's an early bird because there will be more and more drugs like that, either that leave Russian market not being able to sell here and replaced by generics that work, but they work worse. Okay, and I think I've just scratched the surface. I've showed you things that I've seen with my own eyes. And again, none of them are life-threatening. We can live with these things, with the changes, with the downgrades. Yes, we can. We're not going to die. We're not going to starve. We're not going to, go under without these things or with these things downgrading. But you know what? That's downgrade. That's the downgrade. Think about this. And this has been my message. If you please let me know what you think, whether you understood it well, and what is your opinion on what I've just said. Perhaps I'm exaggerating or you agree with me. Please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your feedback. And when I turn a chat on, please keep it civil. Think before you post. Post in English only. No trolling, please. And just be nice to me and to the moderators who are doing their best to keep me safe and this chat clean. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Chat's on. Lorna, number 1. Reese comes in second. Bruce, Mommy, Kyle, Robert, Martin. Begin. Okay, I will change that. Sorry, that's my English is far from perfect. Reese Gray is number one in Super Chats today. Thank you, Reese. This is my third stream today. I had 2 streams, one for sponsors, one for Patreons. Exclusive closed streams for the ones, my way of saying thank you, my showing my gratitude to the people who support me in YouTube sponsorship program and or in Patreon. So thank you so much again. I'm seeing some people for the second or the third time here today already, so really appreciate your support. I was thinking of doing it tomorrow because there will be no stream tomorrow. Like I said, I've decided not to stream normal life in Russia any longer. It's just like it's too heavy. I cannot do that. So I was thinking of doing this private streams on Saturday, but hey, Friday it is. Reese, thank you for the super chat. Hello from Canada, Mr. Popular. Do you still anticipate an eventual border closure? Maybe travel ban for certain countries? Seems almost unnecessary because of the isolation already taking place. Yes and no. I will start answering the second part of the message of the question. Seems almost unnecessary because of the isolation already taking place. No, because isolation from outside onto Russia. But the thing is, a lot of people leave for good. And the more people leave, the weaker Russia becomes. So I think eventually they will be making more and more difficult for a lot of people to leave Russia. And I think the border closure will not be complete, but it will be in some ways. And I think it's going to take a while, and it's going to be stepping stones, Today they make this category of people who, in order to leave, have to go through a very hard time. Tomorrow, another category and stuff like that. These guys are smart. Don't underestimate them. So I expect not complete border closure, but making it very much more difficult to leave. We have a new member of Inside Russia, the sponsor. New member of the sponsorship program, Rain Carnell. Thank you so much. Welcome. The usual suspects: Martin, Thomas, Robert, Toro, 8-star, Peaks and Pokes, May. That's not a usual suspect. I don't recall a name, but welcome. Emra Makis, Scan, Rain, IKDA, Mona, Zdenek. So please let me know. Are you a friend of my parents, or you just have the same name? Did you meet my parents when they lived in Prague? Because my mom swears that it's you. Same name. If you want me to put it to notice your message, please put it in caps so I know that it's directed towards me. There is a sponsorship present from Reese Gray, who gives a gift of sponsoring Inside Russia to 5 subscribers. Thank you so much, Reese. I really appreciate it. That's not just to me, but to a lot of people who can participate in the live streams for sponsors only, and then they can say, well, hey, I'm a sponsor of Inside Russia. Thank you so much. YouTube picks people randomly, not randomly, but like whoever visits the site most gets a gift of sponsorship. But YouTube assigns that, as far as I understand. JKB, did the Russian government foresee the downgrades? Hey, you know what? That's a great question. I don't think they foresaw the downgrades because they were caught by the sanctions unprepared. Even Elvira Nabiulina, the head of the central bank, a person I respect a lot, she gave a public interview saying, we expected there would be some kind of sanctions, but we didn't expect anything like this. And it was beginning of the sanctions placing, so to speak, and I think they absolutely did not foresee this. They thought that something like something like 2014, 2015 happened, you know. But that's just, whew, that's different. Buddy, Phil, Julia, Tim, Robert S. Camphouse, Scott, John Wakamatsu, Phil O'Gill, Aby, Martin Van Owen. Welcome, 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 friends. Donna Olson. I'm driving, so can't chat. No problem. We're feeling your presence here in the chat. You've been outside, not being let in to the messages for so long, Donna, that every time we feel your presence now. Thank you so much for the super chat, Amir. I can certainly see the downgrades. We kind of see it here too. Not to the degree that you are seeing, but still, you are absolutely right about tsunami. I'm actually glad that you're saying that, and I'm very not glad. You know what? I'd rather be mistaken about that. And it's very sad. DJ, hi, Papa Bear. I heard that some people rely on Telegram to obtain meds. May, you heard about this? People in Russia rely on Telegram for everything. It's most commonly used way of communicating. There are groups you can buy baby clothes, formula, diapers. There are groups for sports, food, protein bars and things like that. Just anything, you name it. So yes, I do believe that people rely on Telegram to obtain meds. Just about anything else and everything else. Green-eyed lady, howdy howdy. Airborne snail, Ludmila, Paul Kirkland. Hello from Boris, London. Carl Reinberg, Konstantin, thank you. This confirmed everything I have been expecting for months to happen. Again, thank you, Carl. But this is just tiny little bits. Don't get me wrong. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that Russia is, everything has gone to hell. No. Far from it. Our life can see pretty much as normal from afar. But these things I notice because I go and do shopping. Okay, I choose barter. I go and buy apparel, clothing for the kid and stuff like that. I go and change oil. I go and get other parts. I shop for new car and things like that. So I see them and listen to what I say and take a note on that. In about 6 months, we will return to this downgrade issue, and I will tell you how I was right or I was wrong. I think I will be right, but you know what? We'll see. In 6 months, I will tell you if I noticed more stuff of downgrades. Little Dickens too. Your English is far better than my Russian. Well, unfortunately, far from perfect. Sandy, hello for the second time today. Government must see same. Don't they care? Why should they? Why do they? No, they don't. They have different agenda. They don't care. They could care less. D Huck, hello from Georgia. Emra Makers missed the sponsor stream. There's one next week. It's not going to be on Friday because I have a very important event coming up on Friday, but perhaps later, Saturday, Sunday, we'll see. King Nero, very nice to see you. Thank you for the super chat. Where will Russia get engineers for infrastructure maintenance and inspections now? The water delivery systems are far from perfect. You're talking to the right guy, because you know what? One of my tasks, goals, was to establish an engineering center for my company back in 2006. And you know what? I was surprised to learn that there were very few engineers at the time, electric engineers. And we were literally going and looking for people using contacts lists and things like that. And now The situation got better because more and more people started graduating as engineers, and there were more work for them. Because in the 90s, all existing excellent engineers, they went on to pursue other careers because there's no work for engineers. So in the 90s, engineering disappeared in Russia. Then it rebuilt in the teens, and now it's disappearing again because there is no infrastructure work. Most projects have been frozen. And it's a huge problem. That's going to be a downgrade in quality of Russian workforce. That's something that I haven't said, but you're right. Thank you for the super chat. Ili Ho. Oh, that's not to me. I'm sorry. Bill Cameron, thank you. Elsha, we in Europe are going to feel the shortage in gas. I know. It's not good for anyone, for everyone. Lorna, I got your message. Chinese cars used to be horrible, but they're getting better. But still, they're better, but still far from the best. There are now no Mercedes, no Volkswagens, no BMWs, LDV T60 pickup is quite popular because of 1 year wait time for Toyota. But if there wasn't any wait for Toyota, it wouldn't have been popular, That's when Chinese just glad to come in. I remember times when the cars were actually Chinese cars were prohibited to be sold in Europe. James Nealand, oh, you're not from Europe. Oh, Australia. There you go. I'm sorry. I work at a car wharf in Australia. Get to drive lots of cars. Chinese cars used to be horrible, but they're getting better. Thank you. Matthew Everett, hello from Orlando, Florida. Janice, hello from Reno. Interesting message today again. Thank you so much. I try. Lena, about prices, same here, less coffee in packages, but same price and less cream and butter and more oil in the product. Same thing. It's the USA. Come on, give me a break. America. Zdenek. I'm pretty sure I do not know any Russians of your age, let alone your parents, so that's probably not me. Thanks for clarifying, Zdenek. My mom, she saw your name and she's like, that's Zdenek, that's our friend. Also, where do you announce the member stream? I seem to always miss them. Or are they only for higher tier members? No, they're for all members. I was thinking of making them for higher tier members, but you know what? Being just a regular $3 member is good enough. I'm not hungry for money. Let's put it this way. They are on Friday, couple hours before this stream, usually on Friday. Last Friday I missed because I don't remember because of what. Something came up. There's too much. This Friday, next Friday, there will be no Friday, but probably Saturday or Sunday. And after that, every Friday in the afternoon in America and at evening around 5 p.m., 6 p.m. in Europe. So there you go. Grump, Texas. Oh, great question. What kind of a tea you drinking? Hang on. This tea is from Ceylon, Sri Lanka. This is Highland grown tea, black tea, regular. I think it's branded like it's the sort is Orange Pico. I'm not sure. But this is a fantastic tea company that imports to Russia. Is called Mlesna, Mlesna. I keep advertising them. I hope that they will sponsor me one day, saying, "Hey, thank you for shouting out our name so many times." But you know what? With no money down, whatever, this is the best tea I've tried so far in Russia. New sponsor, Paprika's Fire. Welcome to Inside Russia. Philo Girl, those painkillers you talk about are called local anesthetics. Thank you. Mallory, I'm a life science attorney, and I can honestly say that to you that generic drugs are the same. They really truly are. You know what? They're the same in the United States because you have FDA doing a very good job, but trust me, they're not the same in Russia because Russian companies are trying to cut corners. You come to Russia and see for yourself. I know what I'm talking about, okay? I've had generics before, not just anesthetics, but different drugs. And my friend who owns a clinic, he complains that's his biggest headache right now. That's number one, he doesn't have drugs, like like original drugs and authentic. And then he must use generics that freaking don't work, especially Russian made generics. Oh, they're terrible. And the second problem he's facing, people don't have money, so he's losing customers, he's losing sales. Okay, so I totally disagree with you. I agree, in the United States, FDA keeping a great job, doing a great job, keeping tabs on manufacturers, but not here, not in Russia. Allison Moyers, howdy, friend from the Moyers in Parish, Florida. Howdy. This is a howdy second time to you. Thank you so much for joining me in the previous chat stream and this one too. John Sipple, is it hard to get a visa to leave Russia? To leave Russia is easy. All I have to do is not have any debts, alimonies, and things like that. Don't owe any taxes, which I don't, and I can just buy a ticket and get out of Russia. It's really difficult to get an entry visa to a different country. Ludmila, always interesting chat. Thank you so much. Seize YouTube, our kids for wisdom, praying for wisdom for you about Michael and the pioneers. Message is well taken. Trust me, I am worrying big time, and I'm thinking and thinking and thinking. So thank you so much. My teen loved your comparison with the Upside Down in the Stranger Things. What's the strangest thing you see and or predict? Great question. What is the strangest thing? The most strangest thing I see is how fast our life that used to be normal has become upside down. How fast people who are full of common sense are saying things that I don't understand. How fast that world has turned into the other world in Stranger Things. It's how effortless and fast, just like that. And I was just sitting there with my mouth open and not being able to say anything, like see things unfolding in front of my eyes. That's the strangest thing. I don't understand how life can change so fast. Mateo Schlech, hello. Today I have a few questions. Maybe it's good time to ask them. First is, do you follow global stock market and energy markets? Well, I kind of follow energy markets. I see that the price of oil first shot to the skies, now dropping down. Gas is in trouble. That type of thing. Stock market, no. I used to kind of look at it, but I don't follow anymore, just no time. Second, have you seen what happening on Sri Lanka? I know it's a huge crisis. I know there's some kind of a default. The country's like falling apart economically, but that's all I know. there's so many things I follow here in Russia and study. Not too much time left for the outside world. I know Sri Lanka is in trouble, and I know Russian tourists are looking to go to Sri Lanka because, to seize opportunity for cheap rest, cheap vacations. Soviets are smart. Well, yeah, whatever. Pancake and Twinings breakfast tea. It's USSR all over again. Tommy, we're not there yet, but I see the trend. It's going to be a hybrid. I think much stronger hybrid than the USSR was. Nine Veka, long time no see. Tracy Hendrickson, Julia Sinsit, Tracy Madura, Frank Miller, and Joy. Oh, Joy were now sponsors due to Reese Gray's generosity. That's great. Nicole, sorry, accidentally hit dislike. That's okay, but I understand why you're not running currently. Thank you. Random but light-hearted question from Kyle. Do y'all get extended warranty calls non-stop to personal phone? No. What's extended warranty? I don't understand. For what? Nope, we don't. When we buy something, they offer an extended warranty, like gadgets, car, or a computer, and that's pretty much it. Eric Garden, what's your thoughts on Vissarion? Vissarion, I don't know who Vissarion is, I'm sorry. D. Huck, hi K from Denny, from Georgia in the USA. Howdy, Denny. Brady B, how do you pay for healthcare? What is the system here? Very, very long question. Basically, everyone has access to free healthcare. In Moscow, free healthcare is excellent. Here in Rostov, it's worse. But guess like if you call with emergency, you're not gonna. You will get attended by doctors, and most likely by good doctors. You can pay a little bit, like $50, $30 for a visit, and get private medicine, like a private doctor, much better service. Not too expensive in the United States, just pay a little bit. Like if you do blood work, that's $10, $15. If you go to a child doctor visit, then probably $20, something like that. But that fetches you much higher services. Thomas, Lada just introduced the cars of 2023 without any safety systems like ABS airbags. That's true. Actually, there was a law that the cars without ABS airbags and safety features were forbidden to be sold in Russia. But that law was lifted a couple months ago because they understood Russian cars are not going to come with airbags and stuff like that. Bruce, can you please repeat info about sponsor stream? Every Friday before this stream, Eastern Standard Time around 1, 2 p.m., something like that, in the early afternoon. In Europe, it's early evening, 6 or 7 p.m. So every Friday, there will be no stream next Friday. Further notice, I have something important on Friday. But from that on, every Friday, there's a sponsor and patron stream. A couple minutes left, watching the time. Lorna, we have done weekend streams for 4 and 5 hours. 6 hours, 5 minutes. That was the longest one. In Rostov, exactly 1 year ago, mid-July. I remember that. That was very exhausting stream for me, and for you it must have been even worse. But actually, there were fewer people. I don't think you were modding then. Lorna and Mommy, they were modding without being made moderators, okay? They were just doing it voluntarily for me. There is $100 super chat from Wook. Thank you so much. I listened to a movement from St. Petersburg. She was adamant there were no problem in Russia, and the economy is doing better than ever. There must be a disconnect with many people as to what is really going on. Thanks to all your economic insights, as always. Very well, first of all, thank you for the super chat. That's huge. I appreciate it. It's not the first one. You're a serial super chatter, and your super chats come in hundreds. Thank you. Wook, let me tell you something. My camera does not lie. I can be sitting here and telling you anything, okay? And there's no way to prove it because you have to trust me. But what I do is I go out and I'm being absolutely honest with you. And I film because motion picture tells more than 100 pictures, photographs, and it tells more than 1,000 words. My camera does not lie, and I do not lie. And I always give you the truth. Let's say I go to a shopping mall, and I tell you where exactly I am, how many people come there, how they get there, what is the location of a shopping mall, when I go, time, when I go. So I'm trying to be as objective as I can, okay? And I'm showing you everything with the camera. Now, if some people think there are no problems in Russia, it means that, if they're honest, of course, it means that they're living in a bubble where there are no problems. And perhaps, perhaps it is possible, but that bubble must be really, really small. They don't get out much in this case. Because if they did, they would see a little different picture. Life in Russia right now is not terrible. Is not... there is no catastrophe happened in 4 months. Okay, things have gone down, but we still live as we lived. It's just prices are higher. There are some limitations with foreign currency operations. We can't go to certain countries. We can't fly. We can't buy certain drugs. We are seeing a tremendous change in food stores. The more expensive products being replaced with cheaper ones, okay? But life is still life, okay? Summer is still summer. And it's not a catastrophe. But perhaps a lady is not seeing changes, okay? But I am sorry, I've been around, okay? I've been around. I owned businesses. I actually failed a business. I had a successful business. I broke even once. So I know how it is. I worked in a corporation for about 20 years now. I lived in the USA, I lived in Uzbekistan, I lived in Ukraine. I know my ways, and I am educated economist. From what I'm seeing, things are not well, and it's just the beginning. Just like I said, these changes that took place already and are taking place, they're early birds, early signs. And I'm seeing them, and this is my opinion. Of course, I can be wrong, but you know what? You also have heads on your shoulders, people who watch, and then you compare to what I show to what that movement shows, and you just compare it face to face, so to speak, and make your own decision. I really am I would be absolutely delighted if I wrong on everything. If Russia is doing fantastic and stronger than ever, I just don't understand why and how. Because Russian ruble is artificially stronger. Well, guess what? It's hurting Russian economy so much. And a lot of people are happy about that. They're saying, oh, Russian ruble is strong. You gotta be absolutely delusional to think that Russian ruble being strong is actually good for Russia. Because Russia is exporter. It relies on export. The lower ruble is, the stronger ruble is the worst for the exporters. The less money Russian budget sees. And finally, they start seeing that. And they're going up. They're making ruble weaker and weaker by the day now. I expect it going back to 70 or 80 ruble per American dollar in the fall because it cannot go on like this forever. Russian budget is losing tons of money because of strong ruble. Plain and simple, because they sell in oil and gas. So, I'm sorry, it's been a long answer, so to speak, but might be some other people who adamant and who think there were no problems in Russia. But I guess time will tell very, very soon, okay? I am seeing things around and I'm simply telling you what I see. Better yet, I film and I show you, and my camera does not lie. So, thank you for the super chat, and I hope I answered your question. King Euro, $10, and we're gonna go to pray now. In the last 30 years, Russia turned into a country of consumers, and that is how suddenly shut off from the outside world. The effects of sanctions will hit sometime within next year. Well, they have started hitting, and they will be hitting more and more, and I think the peak will be around next year sometimes. That's my prediction. But again, who am I, right? My friends, thank you so much. Very good chat. I feel really good. Some chats, again, I feel heavy, not good. This one is actually pretty good. Thank you. Fantastic, fantastic guests here. Fantastic subscribers. Fantastic sponsors. Thank you for all great feedback. And thank you for support, the super chats, of course. Thank you. I would like to invite everyone to pray with me. That's what we do at the end of every stream. If you believe, please do. If you don't, please do anyway. I'm asking you. Just come along and send good wishes for people who are in need and who we pray for. Yeah, let's do that. Dear God, thank you so much for giving us a good day today. Thank you for putting food on our tables. Thank you for giving us roofs over our heads. Thank you for surrounding with good people that we love. Please help our children. Keep them healthy and protected from all the possible troubles, because they are the most valuable thing in life that we have. Please help people in Ukraine. Help to stop bloodshed as soon as possible. Reach out and touch hearts of all people who can do something in making decision to stop the bloodshed. Fill their hearts with love, mercy, remorse, forgiveness, kindness. Open their eyes, please. Give them common sense so they stop the bloodshed as soon as possible. Please reach out and touch the heart of Russian President Vladimir Putin. Fill his heart with love, forgiveness, kindness, mercy, compassion. Open his eyes so he makes a decision to stop the bloodshed as soon as possible. Send angels to everyone in Ukraine to keep them out of harm's way, keep them safe, and help them. If they need help, please help every single person in Ukraine. Reach out and touch them and give them strength, safety, and make them a little happier than they are right now. Please give us, all of us, wisdom to raise our children the way that when they grow up, they will make this place a better world. They will never fight with one another. Please Help every single pregnant woman who's making a decision on whether to keep the baby or not. Talk to every one of them and reach out and touch their hearts and their minds, so every single lady in a situation like that makes the right decision. Help every single immigrant who is forced to leave the country and seek refuge, asylum in other countries. Please help every single person like that. Thank you for bringing us here in this community. At first I thought it was virtual, but now I think it's real community. Thank you so much for letting us pray together. Thank you for bringing believers and non-believers alike. Democrats, Republicans, blacks, whites, doesn't matter, men, women. This is a truly place where all are equal and loved by you, and we feel it, so thank you so much. Please hear our prayers, answer them, and make our wishes come true. I would like to mention a few people who need your help. Please answer their prayers, help them. There are 9: Veka, Ellen, Michael, Rafaela, Anna, Elena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Igor, and Bonnie, Buzz, Anne Mary, Jean-Paul, Paula, Janine, Michael, Marlene, Narnian Lady, Susan S., Freddie, Ellen, Stephen, Paul, Susan, Fiona, Sabrina, Michelin, Priscilla, Martin, Allison and Dave Moyers, Ariana, Liz, Bruce, Kylene, Michael, Thomas, Tony, Bob, Jessica, Minutes to Midnight. I would like to specially ask for people in the countries who are members of NATO alliance and people of Russia. So all those countries get together and negotiate peace agreement to stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. I'd like to ask for Donald from Wisconsin, USA, who asks for himself, asking for himself and for his country, the United States. I would like to ask for Sandy Workman, who's been down with COVID and it's been 9 days and she needs to get better. And for everyone who's down with COVID, please help and make them feel better, make them healthy again. I also would like to ask for 3 kids. They are Maverick, Sebastian, and Britzel. Please show your miracles to them and the families. Please make the kids feel better. Please bring Britzel home from the hospital where she'll be healthy, loved by her parents. Thank you so much. Dear Jesus, amen. Thank you. My friends, thank you very much. Great stream. Thank you for coming. There will be no stream tomorrow. I will make a community post on that. I will see you on Sunday with another message that I find you will find interesting. Well, I hope you will find interesting. Thank you. You are awesome and you rock. Please keep on coming back for more. I'll see you soon.